welcome back to my channel. So yesterday, an article came out revealing that Latisha's business is being sued by her Waterloo landlord. So Latisha last night, she started posting a lot of Instagram stories responding to the article, and she had a lot to say. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and take a look at what this article had to say. So this is a sarcasm article, and they started following Latisha at the beginning. They dropped a lot of exclusives like Latisha and her criminal history, her bankruptcies, and they pretty much have followed this whole thing through and through. So yesterday they shared an article reviewing that Latisha was still having financial issues 1 month after her business, Boss Tax and Accounting Services, was evicted from their Davenport, Iowa location. Latisha's business is now being sued by the owner of the building housing of their Waterloo, Iowa location. So, according to the court records that Sarcasm got a hold of, and I will leave this article linked in the description, it says that the Waterloo building ended up filing a lawsuit against Latisha on August 21st, so 5 days ago, and it says that she owes over $4,243.68. So in the past, the suite that her business was in was available for $800 a month gross, and the Waterloo location that she had her business in, that she's being sued by right now, she opened up in early January this year. She did this whole ribbon cutting video that they had for the city of Waterloo that they do for every new business that comes in, and so that means that she'd been at her business for a little over 8 months. So the landlord provided the courts with multiple different receipts, like the lease agreement, the utility bills, and apparently Latisha has had multiple bounce checks that she provided him. And if you guys have been following the sarcasm articles in the past, they have talked about in the past that she had a lot of charges for having bounce checks. Like, she'd go to Walmart, get over $100 in groceries, buy it, and then she didn't have the money in her account, the check would bounce. And she did this numerous times. She did this for pizza deliveries. I mean, this was years ago. But according to her landlord, this is still a habit for Latisha. So Latisha has done several interviews speaking on her past charges, her bankruptcy filings, and her being evicted from her home, and which she claims she's not being evicted from her home, and her being evicted from her business. And she did admit, like for her past, for example, when she was doing all these bounce checks, she said, look, I was a single mom, everybody else was doing it, so I was doing it just to get by because I had to feed my kid. So she said that she finally had a wake-up call a few years ago, and she's like, you know what, I can't keep doing this, I'm going to end up going to prison. So she decided to change her life around and go to college, get her degree in accounting, and then start her own business. When she did do an interview with Gio Malik, she revealed that, and she did reveal in an interview with the Dom Natty show that she knew her business was eventually going to move out of the location that she's currently being sued by, so she didn't see the need to keep paying rent. And she also admitted that the whole time that she was there, she was arguing back and forth with the landlord, so they weren't even paying the landlord for a while. And she said that it was over 6 months that her business was not paying rent, and she said that was over $30,000 in total that she owed. And she just pretty much said, you know, look, we were moving anyways, so instead of paying the landlord the money I owed him, I went ahead and used the money so we could move into a new building. And business is hard. You have good months, you have bad months, and a lot of people underestimate how hard it is and how expensive it is to start a business. And once you start a business, you got to figure out how to get customers in that door. Like, for example, this article reveals that Latisha also owes a Lamar outdoor advertising business for what they're assuming is most likely a billboard outside. She owes over $4,285 for that. So, she was trying to spend money to get people in the door, and then she didn't even pay back the outdoor advertising business either. So she is now dealing with this whole lawsuit because she's not paying back what she owes. So on top of her getting a lawsuit from this place and owing the outdoor advertising place, she also owes a Gray Media Group place, which has at least one television station, which I'm assuming she most likely got a commercial or something. And she owes over $5,500, and a default judgment was filed in June on that. And a security company also sued her business in June of 2021 for $3,143, and an order for the judgment was entered in November of 2021. So this past 2 years, this girl's just been getting sued left and right. So Latisha had a lot to say, and she responded on her Instagram stories. So Latisha says, everything is not meant to be put in an effing article, like biting ish out before I even do and posting just to get laughs. Then she shared a conversation she allegedly had with the landlord that's suing her, and she says, can I please get the court information and documents about the court case that you supposedly have against me? I never knew about and never received documents for. I had to find out from a news article. And then they shared it, and he said what news article reported it. I attached the PDF of the court notice, and she says, what can we do to resolve this? I don't want a judgment. And he says, after I receive the money order, I'll notify the court to drop the case. Until then, it'll proceed. And then Latisha just says, if you have to serve me any more paperwork, please serve it to my corporate address. Then Latisha said, my business in Waterloo is still open and in good standing with the new owners. Y'all look at a post and run with it like your life is perfect. And then she said, we are not broke. We did not get evicted from our current home. We fought back against those crooks who are defrauding tens of people in my area. Hell, this is actually happening everywhere. I won so that others will have a voice. So she says, so F y'all and mind your own business. Anybody can pull up a public record on your butt. And stop hiding behind fake aliases and be a man. We know who you really are. If you got questions, I don't mind answering them. I'd rather do that than you speculate. I'm not sure who she's talking about hiding behind fake pages and be a man. But then she goes on saying, this is traumatizing to me and I have to hide it because I'm a mother, a boss. I take care of my babies and I make sure my team eats. I have to put my feelings to the side. That's what happens when people depend on you. And then she had a lot to say. So she also said, I'm literally in tears right now going over my pain that so many of you think is funny. And then she said that I was in denial for so long, several months, shocked, heartbroken. I finally listened to my attorney and settled with those losers in my favor. As of now, I can't go into details, but very soon, I promise you, I will as much as my settlement will allow me without breaching it. And so I'm sorry, some of these receipts are all over the place, but this is her speaking on her house that an article came out saying that she was getting evicted from. But she denies that and said they ended up settling in court and they ended up making an example out of her case because I guess she ended up getting scammed somehow, according to her. So she says, y'all speculate about my business in Davenport. We moved next door. We never closed down. I'm a business owner. Ish happens. Y'all speculate about my criminal history and you try to use it against me and my team who is innocent just to get laughs. That ish is old as F. Y'all act like it happened yesterday. Do y'all even read? So this is her talking more about the whole house situation. She said, y'all then talked about my home where me and my children live and I've worked so hard for and had to fight someone over I trusted over. A year to get justice for scamming a single mother and her children out of over a $400,000 home. And y'all think it's funny? Me and my children are the effing victims. And then she said, you hire a realtor who has a shady business partner / investor who takes $40,000 down payment and enters you into a fraudulent land contract. Treats you like the owner that you should be when anything goes wrong, but acts like the landlord when you are late in a payment, which is why all of his court cases got dropped and Iowa legal aid picked up my case and fought for me. Without them, I would never knew that money and time and love love that I invested into my beautiful home was going to a home that this man had no right to sell me at. So it's a huge mess, and you can tell that Latisha is very upset. And like I said, I know ish happens when you're a business owner. It can cost a lot more. It can be a lot harder than you think. But at the end of the day, you got to pay your bills, especially if you want to have business and longevity in business. You got to do right with people, because if you screw people over, it's going to be hard to get a place to have your business in the future. And I think that's another reason why she's tripping about this judgment being against her, because she doesn't want that on her record and that going against her for any future location she has. Like, she's making it sound like that she didn't want to pay her rent because she was mad at the guy, but she's also making it sound like, okay, well, it's either pay my rent or have money for rent for my new place. But at the end of the day, you got to realize that you're also screwing over this business owner and hurting this guy, and you could potentially be putting him out of business for your mistakes, and that's not cool at the end of the day. Like, if you're on this show, you're making money now, you know, you're living a nice lifestyle, even if you got downsized to start making payments on your stuff. Like, if you come out and start saying, yeah, you know what, I owe this money, but I'm making payments here and there, I'm trying to do what I can to make it right, then, you know, people respect that at the end of the day. But if you're just ducking and dodging and coming up with excuses, you know, it's kind of hard to be understanding with that. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Shop my lashes and my lash products at AccordingtoAmber.com, and you can use my code LAUNCHWEEK for 20% off for the next 5 customers. And let me know what you guys think. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.